I was in this company. It's called the Fire Support Company. So Fire Support Company is a company with 12 men per section, where we deal with the heaviest weapons you can imagine in the British Army in the front line. So I was trained to be able to operate all those weapons, and at the same time, I was a driver of an armored vehicle called Jackal vehicle. Got ambushed by the Taliban. They were firing to where we were. The bullets were hitting our vehicles. So 50 meters away from where we were, I drove over something called an IED. It's an improvised explosive device.
Yeah.
So from there, I can't remember anything. I just found myself in the UK in hospital.
She said, I don't want a model, I don't want a movie star. You don't have to win the lotto. Oh, I want you to win my heart. Yeah. She said, I just want someone true. She said, I just want someone smoke with me, baby. Lay with me, baby. Laugh with me, baby. I just want the simple thing.
Hi, David Etale.
Hi.
How have you been?
I'm good.
It's such a pleasure meeting you in person. I've seen you on social media and I love the content you're sharing. Despite everything you've been through, you still have a positive attitude like towards life. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. About myself, just a normal boy who grew up in the slums in Kenya, who was trying to...
Where exactly?
I grew up in Huruma, and then we went to Maringo Estate. All of them are in Eastlands here, in the slums here.
Yes.
That's where my passion for football began, playing football bare feet, just like any other kid, which was normal to us, you know, and I'm quite lucky that my dad and my mom, they were able to take me to school through primary, high school, you know, and as I was going through that, my education, my love for football just kept on growing. So I was quite lucky that I ended up continuing that path and played for 4 beautiful clubs back home in Kenya. Although the salary was not that good, but
which team did you actually play for in Kenya?
I played for Waterworks, which is it's a team that is based in Kabete Barracks. Then I played for Kenyan United, played for Kenya Commercial Bank, then played for Tusker Football Club. Yeah.
So take us through, how did you find yourself being in the UK Army?
I would say it was just God's blessings, because I was trying to make ends meet in so many different avenues, trying to make an income. I was a matatu driver, you know, I was doing other things behind the scenes which were not too great, you know, and as I was doing all those things, there was this policeman, his name is George, who came up one day and just approached me and he told me, look, the British Army are recruiting online. My cousin joined. Let's go, you apply to join the British Army. And that's how I went to the cyber cafe with him, applied, and within 1 month I was in the UK.
Did you think it would actually go through, or it was just luck?
I would say sometimes as human beings we have this fear behind our heads, you know, and I wasn't thinking that it would work. I was just trying my luck, and I was quite lucky that luck happened to be true.
Going to the UK, were you sponsored or it just happened?
No, so first of all, me as a Kenyan joining the British Army, it is because Kenya is a Commonwealth state to the British, you know, and that's because of the history of the two countries. And so coming to the UK before you join the British Army, you need to have a sponsor. back in the UK, where you're going to stay without sponsor as you're going on through your selection process for you to make the final cut to be able now to start your training as a full soldier. And that's what happened to me. Yes. So I was quite fortunate enough. I met, I was introduced to this lady. Her name is Stella Mwangi. She introduced me to the mom and their amazing family. They ended up taking me in like their own. And from there, I did the selection. I actually passed everything. And now I was selected now to be a soldier in the British Army. So I started my 6-month training.
Take us to the fateful day where everything happened. So yeah, take us there. We went to Afghanistan. Then what exactly happened?
Yeah, so Afghanistan during my time, it was one of the toughest in the history of the British Army because we lost so many people. So many people came back injured with life-changing injuries. So we were in Afghanistan, and then I remember one day we were just called and we were told the next day we are going to this Taliban stronghold. So we went for the meeting. I came out from the meeting, so we were preparing the next day. But I had a very weird feeling about the operation the next day. So I didn't actually sleep much. So we went now to the place where we were supposed to be watching over other troops, because I was in this company. It's called the Fire Support Company. So Fire Support Company is a company with 12 men per section, where we deal with the heaviest weapons you can imagine in the British Army in the front line. So I was trained to be able to operate all those weapons, and at the same time I was a driver of an armored vehicle called Jackal vehicle, which is opened at the top. On my left hand side you've got my boss, who's a captain. He was handling light machine gun, and then you have someone at the back who was handling the heaviest machine gun, which is mounted on the vehicle. So that morning we left as normal. We got to where we were supposed to be, and then when we got there, it was quiet the whole day as we were watching the troops doing their patrols. And then my friend at the back said he's bored, and as soon as he said that, my boss told him, look, don't wish for something that we don't want to happen, And before he even said that, we got ambushed by the Taliban. They were firing to where we were. The bullets were hitting our vehicles, and because we were 4 vehicles at the top, so they were hitting all vehicles from all sides. So my friend at the back, he couldn't even cock the weapon, like to cock it so that he can start firing. He was scared because he just froze, so I had to jump from the driver's seat, go back and start firing back, because if I didn't do that, it would have not been so good towards us. So we had to call for the Americans to come for air support and help us. So my boss told me we need to extract. So 50 meters away from where we were, I drove over something called an IED. It's an improvised explosive device.
Yeah.
So from there, I can't remember anything. I just found myself in the UK in hospital.
So did you lose your leg there at the spot, or what happened?
No, so I had pretty bad injuries. So, but when I was in hospital, they were trying to save my leg, and I had refused for them to, because they told me they have to amputate my leg, and I refused. So what happened was they tried everything to try and save my leg. Months and months of going for surgeries after surgeries. I went for close to 30 surgeries until it got to a point where I was like, no, this pain is just too much. So they had to amputate my leg. Yeah.
Did you accept it? How did you handle the whole situation?
It was hard because now I was dealing with not having a leg, but now the worst thing that I was dealing with was post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
I was fighting demons inside me that I couldn't even understand myself, to a point where I attempted suicide twice, and all of them failed. So
What did you do
um,
exactly?
no, the first one I tried crashing the car on the motorway. The police stopped me. The second one I drank painkillers with gin. Um, yeah, and then just from there it was a struggle. It was a struggle to come to terms of who I am as a new person who was born with two legs and now is living his life with one leg.
How
Yeah.
did your family take it, and how did you finally come to accept that this is the new you?
My family was quite good. They were supportive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so for us as soldiers, if you get injured in either Iraq or Afghanistan, we have a hospital where all soldiers are taken there. So what actually happened was when I was in that hospital, I could see my friends who are triple amputees, double amputees, people who've had serious injuries than me. So I said to myself, you know what? The good thing is all as soldiers, we used to encourage each other. So one day I just woke up, went to the mirror and I said, I'm not looking back because I've been given this opportunity that I'm here to make a difference. And that's when I just decided to change my life.
Do you regret joining the British Army?
No, I don't regret because
Mm-hmm.
in life, when we were born, all of us, if we were born and we were given a script on how your life is going to be, life would have been a beautiful journey. But it's unfortunate that when we are born, we are not given a script. So we don't have a script where it tells you, this is what you're going to pass through, this is where you're going to go in life, this is what you're going to be doing. So for me, I don't regret anything at all because it's a journey that's my path and a journey that God chose that this is how my life is going to be. So I don't regret anything.
And would you advise anyone to join the British Army, especially people here in Kenya?
For me, one thing that I normally say is I don't like advising people on what they need to do with their lives.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that I can say is for me, the British Army coming to the UK gave me an opportunity to be where I am at today. So for me, I don't like advising people this is what you should do or try and join the British Army because it has to start with you. Because every decision in life that you make, I can come and tell you that you need to do this, but if you don't want to do it and you don't want to accept it, then it will never happen.
People who are suffering from mental health, like what can you tell them? I know yours is different, but now during this pandemic, so many people are undergoing mental health issues. What can you tell them?
For me, even up to date, I'm still going through my treatment because I still have a very bad war post-traumatic stress disorder where I'm reliving everything that I saw in the war zone. I'm reliving everything that happened to my friends. So it's been a battle for me for years, even up to date. But one thing that I came to realize about mental health is don't ever think that you're alone suffering, going through mental health. The best thing that you can do is try and look for someone that you trust and share what you're going through. Because sometimes when you share what you're going through, you might be healing someone else, and at the same time you're healing yourself. Because now you're trying to remove everything that you've been bottling up for such a long time. And the mental health is a really, it's the number one killer disease right now. How apart from COVID, since COVID started, mental health was at the top. And even if you look at now, since COVID started as well, people are struggling with mental health. So it's the number one killer disease. And I think we should always try and check up on each other, try and encourage each other, because I always believe if God has given you that gift of life, try and make the best out of it. Because for me, it has had a really huge impact on me where I've lost so many friends through suicide, people that I've served with, people I called my brothers, and they ended up taking their own lives because they couldn't take it anymore. So for me, someone who's going through mental health, try and speak to someone, and always remember that you're not alone, and please don't suffer in silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing your story. This has been very impactful. Yeah, thank you so much. Continue. I believe disability is not inability in this life,
Mm-hmm.
and you the perfect proof for this. So
Yeah.
continue spreading positive energy to this world,
Yeah.
because I think we need it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, David Etale.